we want to welcome His Excellency in the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from 90.1 FM. Maybe the last time we get Anaya, remember?
Yeah, of course, now over 3 years ago, and that's when they did on the other side.
How was it waiting, Kaya? And now?
Well, the difference is sure, because of course we be there the last time where we interviewed him 3 years ago. I've been for get updates on issues of national development and what he been think, but seeing them we be there happen that time there. So I believe say from that time to now, great difference only.
All right. Well, the program now Good Morning Salon, and it come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, as soon as I read from that intro the way we get the last time we'll get the president now, that time they be the campaign for the president. And that time they it became for come talk about how he see the Koroma administration as the campaign be they go on. Well now, they have to tell we what he don't do inside the last year. But first I want to welcome you again officially to Radio Democracy. For more you be president, this is not the first time a sitting president they visit this media house. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Family go on for know why you they do a media tour.
Well, good morning, Saloon. I do the media tour because it's necessary for communicate, dialogue, and get conversation about who side we they go, who side been promised, the things that we are not able to do, the things that we are not able to do, and how we go before as a nation. So, facing a responsibility for make. I explained to Saloon people then, who elect me, for make I brief them on how far we don't go. So not that make, but this time round we in the new direction. I not call now for go interview me in my office. I decide say I be done the go day. I forgo day and go do the interview. We say the machine and everything there. That make I come myself.
So, Mr. President, before we can talk of issues of national development and how your leadership don't go about that, let me just start first for know how it sound like for be, a president na country where you get for responsible for and your family life. How you manage to?
Well, then they definitely extremely difficult because you get for take care of the family. That's now your primary responsibility. But when you take up a national responsibility, you get for no say. The family get for understand and no say. You also get a nation for cater for. And therefore, you get for divide your time. And the bigger part of your time, actually, you spend on government work. And that I try for do. Of course, where you get Pekin, you get Wev, you get other family members, themselves also need that, a part of that time. And for the most part, really, now the government work, now they take a greater part of your time.
So you leisure time, what you can do?
I go around and try for see waiting they happen. Sometimes I can go down my village. I can go down other parts of the country for make I know waiting they happen.
So going around means say you go get like first-hand information about waiting they happen compared to waiting your cabinet ministers and can tell you. Going around inside the past 3 years, now waiting you don't see they happen at the country.
Well, going around, I notice say a lot of people then we will go around in a lot of places that we say we don't do things then they give me an account of waiting don't happen in terms of especially development. Let's say for instance the flagship program when a free quality education. Then they come and they tell we thank you. They say you don't take the school fees off. But the Pekin don't plenty at the school there now. The classroom they don't tight. Of course, we be anticipate that we're not being just feel say it will come so quickly. So which means say we need more classroom then. But then we get what we call the mini grids then where they bring light. A lot of them really happy say we get a solar mini grids there at them place. In fact, they turn the way not get. Then they actually ask for more make sure say mini grid go to them. Because nowadays, Aleppo's in the village, they all get their phone, they get other things then. We need energy, and they also need them for development. And they need them for power, a lot of other things then. That's not the other thing. And with the CISA, then they demand now for the communication tower then. Because Everybody don't know, say, phone not for bluff. Now part of the development process. Now a way for save life. Now a way for govern, and also with the use them for even health issues. So every side we say you go away not properly covered by any of the telecommunication companies. Then they ask for make sure so they put our. Of course, the roads are still bad in a lot of places. That makes the government be done, put out, procure a lot of companies then for me to go out there. So the roads then in different parts of the country still bad.
So we can look at some of the areas and but I just wonder you mind to one of you message them where you been give. Now you made them speech because you said don't talk so you don't go around since you take over now you leave your time for hearing from people them. And one part of them where you been state that same thing at that forget a happy nation, we gotta forget happy people them. And one thing where you been promised salon people and say you want to make efforts for ensure say the people them happy. At this stage, 3 years down the line, salon people them glad.
No, we human beings we're not glad so. As you get one thing, we cater for another. We yearn for another. Forget a happy nation means say you get for work consistently and give them the basics of life. Then we're not doing it, and we're not able to do it now in just a very short time. But why make I take you back to the free quality education. Today, 2.5 million people they go to school. Then 2.5 million people they go to school. They all get parents there. So I would say you take another 1.5, say now the parents then. Wait till we don't do, we don't take away that burden where them be get, where some man not be able even do, where they make picking they're not able to go to school. So now you get millions of people where they benefit directly. That's now a slow process to development. And that make a lot of people know they see that connection. Say, just like host, if you want host today, you're not able to build them today. You start for building by the foundation. We on diagnosis of the problem na salon. We diagnose for mess salon team up tranga one on the route of development, like all other nations we don't succeed. Education get for day. However expensive, however difficult, no nation, no one day go before. If you not take education, make serious. So now that make we put plenty money inside there, and now that make we the jealously guard the processes and waiting they go on there. So that way they already with the cater for directly for 2.5 million picking them when now we future in this country.
All right, if you listen to the program, you listen to Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. We can look at the free education proper and the impact we don't create. But in 2018, where you be the campaign with your manifesto, you define the new direction as new direction for Sierra Leone, where embodies the hopes and aspirations of the sufferings of people of this country. A big word and the way you go broke down for you. 3 years down the line as president, you think say you don't restore hopes and also reduce suffering in the lives of Sierra Leoneans?
As a nation, I want to make you understand one thing, that there is no quick fix to national issues or problems. If we want to bring happiness, it's not going to be in 2 years or 3 years. With COVID, we don't take already 1 year. We know the meet, we know the, as we talk, we go for cover, we know the whole world come to a standstill. But what we don't do is, now forgive hope, say, what we say we go do, we don't start for do a lot of the thing there under very difficult circumstances at the time, at this particular point in time. And let us say, for instance, as a nation, we're not part of the global community. We not be even get respect again in the world. Yesterday, I talk him, and I go talk him again. We come on now, we go around the world, halfway around the world in Japan, where they send a salon delegation this. They not agree for me we enter the hotel because they say we get debt there. And then I mean the first time we had to go there. Now that I inherit. Where everybody don't go inside, me not be still able because I be needful. Ask me with all my delegation, pay for the hotel bill where they be done left day, I don't even know which year. Before me they allow for before then they allow me for enter day. Then kind national disgrace then it don't make Salome man don't lost in self-esteem. Today, Sierra Leone is viewed differently around the world. They don't begin mention we name them for good things. Then what would they do? In a very short time, even with response to this COVID, it has been rated as one of the best around the world. That is not from me, from international agencies, and even the way they talk say we respond, and not to other people than do them. Sierra Leonean and do them under my own leadership, based on the experience we don't get from Ebola, even though me not been there in our power.
You dey talk about the respect where the country don't get outside of Sierra Leone. Any side, any platform you get, education are one thing where you always they put before. Just not how you say no country no go develop if education no people are not educated in a country. And for Salone, under your administration, 22% of the country national budget they go towards education. We don't get people in our CSOs, opposition people in. Yes, the free education, okay, but the quality of the education are one way people on the question also. From your assessment, how you go to talk about the impact where the free education don't make to the country?
Well, talking about quality back is not the change overnight. When we talk about quality education, now because we want to make sure say the type of education we get now is competitive with other qualities of with other quality education around the world. So when we talk about quality, it involves teachers then, well-trained teachers, well-motivated, well-paid teachers then, for make them heart sweet when they teach the picking them. Then go give them all the knowledge, then go actually train them for being the next generation of leaders. So this not a thing, no government of the world not able to change that overnight. We they make effort, we don't even employ over 5,000 new teachers in this short time. So sometimes they talk about the wage bill. The wage bill go up because even the nurses they're not been there, even teachers they're not been there, even that number we don't recruit is not enough at this point in time. So we need for train more teachers there, motivate them. We don't give them salary increase of 30% for just to make sure say the quality improve. So we are making efforts, and that me one for Sierra Leoneans that say all which we've been promised, we don't start them. But it takes it. Rome was not built in a day, so it's going to take a while. Other government and go for come, they see the sense in which we they do one day and follow, and we will do them consistently for years. Then picking that we don't start class 1, then go come on and then go be different. They're not going to cheat for exam. You don't say even the cheating for exam don't begin go down. These are all about issues about quality. So now that na small thing what we don't get used to, it not go change overnight. But when I see and when I go see we they make the effort for make that the change.
So, Mr. President, even though you don't accept say change not go get for happen overnight, one thing again where they inside the new direction agenda, now that this agenda is so based on waiting you've been talking that and that you forget disciplined leadership, integrity, professionalism, efficiency, and competent service delivery. Inside the past 3 years, waiting you go state at for say you go point at this say you don't do them or uphold the thing in the way you say you want for work on.
Well, now several things that you don't mention. One, disciplined leadership. You provide quality leadership. For run a government, you get for take a lot of people. You get for bring in a lot of other actors. Then put them together and tell them what you want for take the government to or the country to, and encourage them for provide the leadership. Because as me sit on here, I talk say everybody for dinner in office before 8:30. And they provide the leadership.
But then they do them after we be done talking.
I say everybody for dinner office by 8:30. And they provide the leadership. First time, when they see me, they go round for ensure say everybody they go in the office. Now, with the use of technology, we get means where we procure so that we will able to know when everybody enter the office. But when we talk about providing quality leadership, down the back, now a matter of culture. We don't use for be lazy in this country. It does not come overnight. But when you talk about leadership at the highest level, you're not going to find me wanting as far as that is concerned. Because I make sure, say, waiting as they make you do as a leader, me they do and force, for sure say, it's not impossible. And therefore, you for follow. So you have its leadership by example, and gradually, even that is not going to happen overnight. But instead of physically they go run like a school headmaster, now we use technology for know when you're in your office, when you're not in your office, and then we take the appropriate action. Over time, it becomes a culture, and people they know say they for dinner then desk latest 8:30 in the morning.
And another thing we been talk about again, if we move come out small to thing that we say gradually go for the happen. Corruption are one way you've been promised say you want for make them very unfashionable, let people know the practice corruption. Now the different institutions, the Musa, you don't give them government work for do. And over the years, we don't get corruption allegations, we don't come up. There is the Anti-Corruption Commission, yes, we don't do them work for ensure say they fight corruption. But as the president, and now you directly appoint them people here for working at some of their offices here. Firstly, what do you think about the allegations them we don't come up of corruption?
Well, allegation is the easiest thing in the world for do. Like if you don't know and tell you say you're not corrupt person, you don't thief. The next thing, when the most important and difficult thing, for sure say, yes, you thief. And bring the evidence. If I not like you, I'm going to tell everybody say you're not thief, man. So, if you say somebody in the government, or Mr. Sefwi or anywhere don't thief, now for bring the evidence and show say this person don't thief. Not to where we say with the Fed corruption, not to say now Maada Bioge for the go now every office they make they check the accounts, waiting coming, waiting not coming, whether properly used. We get systems and procedures, structures like the ACC, when I for make sure say waiting we say if anybody step out of the waiting we don't say, then take the necessary action for make sure say they not do waiting we said they not for do. So around the of course the country, like I say, it's very easy for make allegations. The allegations, they don't make allegations against Mr. as a person, as the presidency, but bring the proof. Then the ACC go intervene and take the necessary actions. Without that, not just noise.
Right, well, continue for the between the program. We come back to you. We go for this short break, and where we can, we continue the program.
Radio Democracy, supported by Asiwa and powered by Africell.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
Radio Democracy, supported by Asiwa and powered by Africell.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
No, this one is a special dedication. Wicked. To all the people of this nation. Real. All the lovers of radio democracy. All the lovers of radio land. The voice of the masses. Hear this. Come on. Home down selector. Home down selector. 98.1. The voice of the people. Radio democracy. Radio democracy. Radio democracy. For news, views, and entertainment. Radio democracy. Radio democracy. Radio democracy. For news, views, and entertainment. The true voice of the people. Radio D, to you there's no equal. Second to none.
Radio Democracy, supported by Asiwa and powered by Africell.
Right, 8:24, now the time for my studio clock, and today we get the privilege for get the president. Now the program this morning, 3 years ago again, this same time, around this same time, he be there for talk about the plans them where he gets for the country. And he happy for being the president, he now talk about the thing them where he don't do. Let we look at the economy. Now the country as we speak. Inside your manifesto, you make mention of the economy. You say you want to transform Salone to a middle income country or now this 21st century. With 3 years from 5-year mandates where you get, you think say this is still achievable?
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. It don't done. It no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.
I want for come to the economy, but make a finish on the corruption issue where we don't raise. Because yesterday I been listening to this station and somebody say me they defend people they we corrupt or where they don't say they corrupt. I want for make and categorically clear say no, I know one day will not see me they defend anybody because they say corrupt. But at the same time, we're not going to use corruption charges now for also smear the character of very good people. We don't make your mark in the world. But I not even remember on any occasion, because if you say somebody, my office, they don't accuse me for corruption. Me, I not they respond to frivolous claims there. If you not bring the proof, say, Maada you take Salone money, you go put it in pocket, you go do this, you go do that. And now they even respond. Now that make one say another talk because for me, now a waste of time. So why I take issue with this? Because when you sit on a national radio and make that sort of say me don't defend, which is not correct, I think say we need to set the record straight. As we set the record straight, now let me go to some reports where some local organization and do. Outside they say your office of the Chief Minister, Parliament, and Office of the First Lady, according to the Africanist press, all day in corruption practice. Where they see the allegation and they as president, outside they accuse a whole presidency with documents on all over social media. How you can take her first of all? Well, now they mistake this way when I can do, when all they do. And I don't listen to this station severally. I spend my office, they spend money. They're not missing a corruption. If I spend 10 billion, they're not missing a corruption. The most important thing is I follow the procedure for make sure say, oh, my office, we get for us, if my office follow the procedure, forget the money. Where they spend the money, they account for them. And waiting a use of the office or anybody where they say they're accused of corruption, whether they use the money for the purpose for which they say. If all of them, they know because they say the office of the president use 10 billion, for we, because of Usa, the money in himself is here for 10 billion, than at $1 million. But if you go elsewhere, you go see say me if I dey travel today, not to be responsibility for buy me ticket or for get me plane or for spend. I not get that money so for travel that way. Me na head of state of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The state they responsible for me travel and me stay where they go. So when they say, for instance, the first lady in office spend whatever billions, the other question for me, who side is spending? Now clothes you go buy, now house you go buy, now hotel you go buy. No, it's spending power with picking them at this country, and it don't account for them. as big as the name go be, billions of leons, we say inclusive development. If we get for talk about inclusive development, we not self when a woman then so no for don't sit on if we're not being get the opportunity, they're not being supported now, we are not being taken our education serious for rich now. We want for make sure say the gap picking the word will be don't marginalize or we not even care for. Somebody the way they give them hope. Somebody the way go make them feel part and protected. And that make and the hands of our guys project we get where nine all of this they're about. Now the one of the projects that where if you go to any part of this country, even at the least village, you go see Peking talk about them. Then they say, then get somebody where they protect them now. Then get somebody where get for help them. So which means say it take the money within the rules and regulations where the state set, he use them for a purpose and they account for them. That's not to corruption. So I mean, we get forget this straight. I want for make when I give me time because I don't come here often, and I not get time for the go and respond to frivolous claims. Then, and wait for me, even this radio station, I see how when I spoke because African Express. I not want for talk about the person behind it because I know so much. That is not my style. And I not want for the response. So that I want for make when I give me the opportunity for clear because this is a very important something. And when you get for make a land,
yes, Mr.
I don't want for be interrupted at all. When you make a claim, it's easy for me to talk say we are all corrupt in this place. I sure they say when I spend, but what when I spend now on? When I be asked when I let's say cancel the Society for Radio Democracy, then approve the money, when I use them for that purpose, even if now 20 billion when I use. If when I use them for the purpose, the desired purpose, and it can be proven, then not to corruption that one day.
So my question now would be, even though you say some of them money are when they allege say the government officials and they use, you say documents can define and they go to the right place. The problem here and concern where people get now that some they refer to them as misplaced of priorities. Because if you look like how you say, some of the billion in loans they sound big because na salon we day and we economy not too strong. So people the misplaced of priority here is spending those billions of loans on traveling, per diem and other thing them. The situation of the people in the country concerning them day-to-day living and the bread and butter issue. Which one for them be preferable for putting money in the on traveling or ensure say the people in the country really they able to get them living with less stress as they expect the new direction for bring?
Well, this expectation na salon, now we get for change. Nobody not the change economy overnight. And I not even talk about traveling. Now you don't talk about traveling, so I will cancel
because
down
the
now.
allegations and where they come out, so now they spend
Yes,
money
allegations. But when you watch Gigi Snow, when the kind of bad name will be get around the world, when I asked the ambassador, they almost drove on a meeting na Moscow. Why? Because of the kind of reputation we will contribute on get. If you not send somebody there, you not go there and clear that reputation. Most of what we able to do, not from we national budget, now from outside. If you not go clear there your reputation, then that reputation with the country don't get. Who say you they go? We always talk about donors and development. But if you get an awful reputation, who say they say you not serious. Now thief no more you depend. You know they account for anything. Then you need for clear travel. Now the only country this who say then they ask who say the president they go. All of the meetings then, where they say at the travel, and they meet all the other heads of state that day. So when I want make we day as a pariah state, who say we know they go, who say we competent day, we are go Russia. All the 54 heads of state were there. We are go China, they were all there. We are go Shogun, when at the Commonwealth, they were all there. So how now make we be part of the international community without we not go there? I have to be there. And Namina the only one where they travel inside passenger plane. Now West Africa, yeah. Maybe me and Liberia. All the other one they get in plane. because of the same sort of attitude we will get towards enough for travel. I not leg for travel, I not leg for claiming side plane. But I take this responsibility, and traveling a part of that responsibility. And so that comparison, we they put billions into the hands of Sierra Leoneans every month, paying for the people that say free quality education. Go check in our finance and see how much money they go into quality education. I just tell you now, 36% of the population of this country, they directly benefit from that money we would give. Where would they pay for them picking there? They are not even count to them parents there. They are not even count to the multiplier effect where we will get them picking there, all go school and begin take care of themselves, their communities, and this nation. But we just, now the little things about travel, this, that. I don't like to travel. But the task where I take, it requires me for travel, for able mend and cure the kind of bad neighbor we don't get in this world and in this country, so that we're able to function as a respected member of the international community.
Mr. President, let me look at the Auditor General's reports. Again, he published a very damning report 2019, and also indicates a government fail for follow procedures, making results to billions unaccounted for when they can go do the audit report. Inside this report, you can do recommendation them where you can ask for make whosoever you go when with processes no the recommendation you can provide recommendation as head of state first. When you can see them auditors report come out with such damning allegations inside it, what thing are you take on them?
I will start for answer your question by going back to something we don't mention always. We not bring a new system in. If we bring a wholesale system in, now when I say one they talk say, with the witch hunt, most of wood that they would use, they have been part of the system. The civil service, we get the police, we get the military, and everybody. Now the number of people with me they appoint is not as many as the one where they, not just a drop in the ocean. It takes time for me to change the old habits then. We have been there against. Now then they handle all the procedures and processes for get money and how for user and account for the money then they. Am I happy? No. But we cannot. You not even get the time for bring everybody in. Because we have all been part of this corrupt society. So it takes, which I want for make we understand, it takes a lot of time for make we gradually get people then begin shift. And that make, maybe in talk say, we will make sure say, corruption not fashionable. Today, corruption, if you ask me corruption day, I could say yes. But it's not fashionable. Because now, you remember say, where the ACC catch you, nobody, you go ask the ACC boss, if me don't want this center, say pull this person or now so this investigation for go. Now the ACC get over 100% conviction. So are we fighting corruption? Yes, that has been recognized internationally, consistently. So no, when I defeat no more, where I say I defeat, where as I come, I don't defeat corruption. Corruption has been the way of life of this country for a very long time. So that first day, now we all get them. And most times when we talk about corruption, we exclude ourselves. But we all been corrupt. We all corrupt in this country. You see teacher where they take money from small picking. You see policeman where they take. But then if that same policeman or that teacher they talk about corruption, you go feel say, when they take money from them little angel the way they go now in school. That's not corruption. You go to hospital, you go see nurses, they do them. But we all can sit down, down they not to corruption. Now the minister, now incorrupt. Now the president, now incorrupt. We all get for make a concerted effort and make sure say corruption become a thing of the past.
So making it become a thing of the past, where the Auditor General in reports being come out, and it shows say over 400 billion there be people not able for accounts for, where some of them money are so now you foot soldiers them then are the institutions and the way you appoint for ensure say they really work for the people of Salone. And according to you, they encourage corruption at all now your leadership. How you been taking the information for say you food soldiers them involved in seeing them where they're not able to account for the people and money where they use. How you been take that?
Definitely, because of the commitment to fighting corruption, me fight against corruption in the first place, now because I know say now a deterrent for development. If that money where they go into corruption, I able get them, we go put more in education. The ground where when I say dry, we go able make it wet. All the ground that we will get, we go able, now they them money there for the gold. Where you accumulate that one day, estimate that one day for 20, 30 years. Now huge sums they go. But the thing about audit report, actually means they thief the money.
But they're not able to account for them.
That is it, which is very wrong. And when are the thing they will try for change? You can use money in a year, but if you not get a good system and you not be done used to good systems, for no say this where are they go buy fear for the machine so I for write them so that when they come I go give this paper. It not mean say you don't thief the money. It means say you not follow systems and procedures for account for that money there. And that is where you don't go wrong. So it will be 400 billion. But if you check them properly, you go finally say, yes, they use the money for the purpose. But because we all, it's a system, it's a mindset in this country, be it the food soldiers, as you call them, and all the civil service and all the other agencies, them we still get for lander. So now we own responsibility. Now make us say it will be a collective effort. ACC were not able to do one, me were not able to do one, and that be make a talk say a national fight with for fetam and with for win that fight day if we want to go before in life.
I'll go back to my first question I ask you, the economy.
The economy.
And you've been promised for transform Sierra Leone to a middle income country now this 21st century. And as you see, your administration do this single treasury, wherein we get all departments, agencies, them, all man one pot, not the money there. But when you look at the country, people will still tell you say thing really tranga from December. Okay. Salon they can 60 years. From independence to today. The same problem more or less. Basic things. Electricity, lights, health. How you go assess them in the country?
Of course, we not reach you say we want for reach it. We still get problem with electricity. Now make us say, we problems they will get, they cannot be solved overnight. The hope we'll not forget is that when I get a government, we don't diagnose the true nature, the root causes of the challenges, the binding constraints to development, and we systematically and gradually attack them one day. If no national problem is simple. Like when I say, people that say, oh, light no day. The machine they will get able to give the whole city light. But we inherit all them cable them. We're not able to take the light to Usai for go. So we put all on, either than fire the cage on side or the cable it just go off. For make you able to change them cable then, for make sure say everybody, the one the way the tifo, you pull them. And talking about power no day. Now the only country this we are seeing in the world where then the thief the young transformer them, where they go now they host them for give them light. That's always we've also for think it's not always government. It has to be a concerted effort. Are we playing our part as a people? I will tell you so now 57 transformers and don't thief inside Freetown here. Then they go bend them pull them. And when you pull them, the whole area they go off. Is government making now new transformer then we would try for bring come so that everybody go get it down the back. We're not able to buy all together. But if the few as we they bring them come, Sierra Leonean day, not to other people then they can attack Sierra Leonean day for either politics or bad heart or whatever you call it. Either go you broke that one day, you cut them, you say for the cable, or someone just vandalize them. Then we have a difficult situation on our hands.
So with some of them excuse or reasons and you don't give for me, you begin talking here this morning as to why Salon not really able to reach it to that peak of in development. You've been promised the people for bring come a change. You don't do 3 years from the 5-year term where you get. Waiting you want the people remember President Julius Maada of at this stage.
Okay. Me on national radio not a give excuse.
No, the reason that you give.
No, now you what you say. Now they try for correct. I don't they ever give national excuse on national radio. I am a human being. I have a system where I don't put in place for find solutions to the many problems that we will get. Would I apply an effort in our work? I'm not perfect. I dey see, but would I make effort? And I know say any of the effort here not to one day. And we get for America was not built in a day, centuries. United Kingdom, we say we all kill the rush for go, was not built in a day or year or in a decade.
So at this stage, what
So-
remember you of?
If you not remember, Mr. The beginning, the member said they go school. Then they get food. Over 600,000 of the beginning, then they go food. And that make wait. Now the future are the fed for. And with future, now in education, them picking there. So if we not, they say this same problem will continue for happen if we not take education seriously. So if you want to member that president, we come, it make everybody in Peking go school, and they know they pay, they pay for the school fees, it buy books for them, it buy learning materials for them. In some cases, you say food.
The Attorney General's office and the Ministry of Justice. Under your administration, will you ever see two offices under this? Separate the Attorney General's office from the Ministry of Justice.
I tell you, say everything we do now work in progress. When we come, we cannot do everything together. That is now from the manifesto. I guess say you they pull that one day. Everything we don't say, I go for do. It just I need time for able to pay attention. Like the first 1 year, I go tell you say we spend that time there for really waiting at the problem because you're not gonna know where they outside. Now where you can't inside, now you know the actual nature, the magnitude, enormity of the problem, and then you manifest the thing that you get for tweak them, adjust them for make you able to tackle them problems then they.
Yesterday we be host CSOs, somebody from government's Ministry of Information, and also a journalist with be they talk about waiting how they see your administration. And one thing where the journalists make clear in all of which you don't do now, the issue of the way people they say they can remove them from offices, where it come from the way they appoint the speaker to the way the Attorney General come to the way the SEC Commissioner come. Other offices them according to them also from even lower ranks, they pull them from the offices because of tribe, because of party affiliation, and the country people believe say divided on tribal lines. How you take these statements where from time to time where they get people in here, they make mention of the country divided.
Where Biden can we be the pull people? I'm not talking about tribalism. Where you get a new prime minister, he get for changing office.
Why?
Why? Because Gigi's now, you don't ask now. You someone ask the question. See, nothing will change. If things there for change, people then get for change.
But the process is like some offices get tenure. Now the process, the concern the boards. Like the Attorney General's office, it gets the minister, the AG's office, it gets Chief Justice. Sorry, the Chief Justice in office get tenure. The ACC in office get tenure. So now that process stay where people and say not follow the due process.
We follow the procedure and make sure say we get with young person we go fight for it. We accuse the last government say they not show that enthusiasm for fight corruption. We get a news here. We now want to keep the old person there. Then we know the show say we serious. If in the one way the box and they go
So they get as reporters, as media people now that the country divided. We get you now an opportunity for talk to the people of this country. We feel that way we feel aggrieved. So as head of state, what do they do for bring the country come together?
the country always divided. With man, they
But
divide
you
them
promise
into north,
unity.
into south, and the east. We say divide them, we say Timini line, we get Mende line, we get this, we get that.
What you been saying
Me?
you can't change.
Yes. Now that make I dey put the National Cohesion Commission together for make sure say we come together. The differences then they yes. We get your own tribe, I get my own tribe, you come on at the north, I come on at the south. That not me say most of my best friends have been from the north, from where they go school. Me not sabi that one day. But this issue about say how will they make choices? You want even yourself within order you reported them. So the day we elect because they're more effective. You don't mean say you hate the other one, no. But when you want a certain result, you dey take. And now because you don't sabi hard in the work, now make you they make them choice. Not of us say you elect them all. But if they say for go cover president, you dey pick particular one. Now tribalism, favoritism, nepotism. This is where when you do at the national level, you get all them claims there. But me, the most important thing for me, now for make sure say we salon better, you know, we good road day, you know, that you say na Mendema no more for pass here or na APC no more for pass here.
So with the current report card where you get inside the past 3 years where you present to the people must to waiting your administration don't do for move Salon to another level. You've been kind of power with 51.81% after the runoff elections. If we forgot to the polls at this stage after the 3 years, you feel say you stand chance for get that percentage the back?
I think you know more good to tell me down there.
Maybe.
Sorry. Me no get means for tell.
But from which
Now
you
me
do?
business for make sure say waiting I promise I do am. The time they can we will not all get for go vote for me or against me. That one then I think we are not going to tell. But I convince in my mind or in my mind say I did do enough for raise the profile of this country. That thing that the way abstract where the average really know they see. This country where them be the shun, where nobody know one hear about. Where camper like Ebola, with not only just the scourge we've been worried about, now the corruption we've been there around Ebola. But here is a country where we get a pandemic. We said they even compare one of the worst countries few years ago to what America do in their fight or struggle against COVID. So we have made move. Then they mention Sierra Leone. Mr. Self they listen at the see na TV and not they even believe say
So-
na salon that they talk about.
So it's all lengthy in the way that they talk about internationally and waiting they happen at the ground here. You think so you stand a chance for get that kind of number day if you go to the polls?
And they get past that one day. If not that answer that you want.
All right.
So-
Let me look at the violence in the country. Everybody be calm. You come initially go now. You building this now this discipline. Ex soldier they come. The country get for day under proper law and order. But under your administration, we see the Lone Star incident. We see the Paremba Road, Mahala. We also see McKinney. We see Tombo and all that thing in the. And we think safe. From there, half community, then we also they see indiscipline. So despite you promise this country are discipline and violence free, inside 3 years, something there where you learn from all the violence here we don't they happen at the country.
We don't talk about some of them. Which caused the violence? Na McKinney. The government get a machine. Government get other machine than they. Government say the international airport no get machine. Since we not get direct live from Bumbuna, we not get spare machine. We they can't take with machine. We can go now the international airport so that we go able maintain the politicians then go inside there. Then they can't pull the only machine we get now. Now my fault? No. The same bad politician that we have been talk about, now they do that. And we not just do an unknowing to them. Months before, we sit down with the stakeholders and tell them, say, they can't take this machine, it not get nothing to do with power supply in McKinney. Because we say been this even because it been there on what then get for go change the tires them for because it don't timber for a very long time. That is not to make create that. Like I say, people are bent on creating. And when you go arrest them, when they say then they arrest them, they don't create problem. Some people then die unnecessarily. Power no loss today. Why you they go take team up before? Why you they go strike? Tumbo. We all be there. We how then call him, I don't even know his name, he overseas, he inside. And now, talking about that, when they want pass the cyber law, they say now for stop people then freedom. Now for them kind of here, we they pass them cyber laws there. So we your actions then intentional because we're not going to left that space free. We get for control the space. So are we making efforts? Yes. If it don't happen, long time, some man don't forget about themselves. But we still the root cause of that particular problem. Now where we they allow somebody for they under and incite violence na ya and consistently na lunsa na tumbo it happen. That one day I make na call terrorism. And anybody where they create that mass fear and they do them na terrorist activity. And that one day anybody will catch but that one day we get for
So you learn any lesson and waiting your government don't do for make sure say the incidents that the particular the Pademba Road will not repeat itself.
Pademba Road, we get several prison breaks and attempted violence all around the world. The Pademba incident, now a whole case of Iyon. We know say convicted criminals and so on and so forth. Now then we also, if we been change the whole system, then we say they don't bring the SLPP for can change the whole system na Pademba. And the same system we did it. Where then they talk about police? How much police SLPP don't bring coming? Now only one batch of recruitment. So the same people will be done there. Now the same people then they where that incident happened. Waiting you for check now, waiting we don't do. Go na the prison. Say how waiting don't happen. A lot don't happen. So we get several challenges and we need time and we do them, we make sure say we plan them very well for make sure say any problem we would deal with, we not just deal with the symptoms, we go to the underlying causes.
So most of them underlying causes at this stage, people on the refab and the points and the political leaders them say because most of the things them waking up at times, political leaders them wait for leaders example and let the supporters themselves know say peace really in a salon, they're not on the sit down day. With a background to that, waiting at your current relationship with your predecessor, Dr. Ernest by Koroma?
Well, the people ask this question all the time. Me and Ernest by Koroma are not all contestive. So I don't know what are the importance. If I ask you, what are the relationship between you and your former boyfriend? What you say?
Get political leadership where plenty people they look up to as
well. I invite them for the national cohesion in Okam. This is where you show national cohesion. For sure to the world say yes, we are together. We ready? We want see me, we want talk to me. They call me. We are one for talk to them, and they call them. We are not friends. I don't know why you want us to be friends.
For the sake of the good of the nation.
No, we cannot be friends. We are in talking terms and we will get national issue. If I invite you, you not go there. If I been go grip and when I go say, I don't start the violence. Not so.
So I can't get friendship
not
for
to
the
me.
sake of the nation.
I tell you say we get friendship. We dey talk.
That brings me to the commission,
talk.
the Peace Commission. I mean, people, they yearn for this Peace Commission. And I remember April 1, where we make fun of Marcella saying in the commissioner, where you don't appoint. We see lots and lots of feedback. They say they're happy now with the commission to establish finally. But that'll be April Fool. So whose time would they see the establishment of the Peace Commission?
And not to April Fool. Now lobby when I don't begin lobby.
No. That was April Fool.
Okay. We that one day back a national structure because of the polarity in this country. We dey try for make sure say we fix them well so that the intended purpose for which this very important structure with the stand them up we go achieve that one day. When you do national things, never be in haste. they make very silly mistakes. Very silly mistakes. It will defeat the whole purpose. So why the National Commission? Because we want an organization where we keep a very keen eye on all the instigators of violence. All the things that everyone they talk about, then go see no more. Then dependent in there. Then go try for say today. If they're not able, then go tell say, yes sir, we feel saying na so we for go ban this. And if for be everybody and most if for represent the whole society.
So they come to the end of this interview, but you know go left, you know tell listeners them, since you be president and decision making are one way key for any presidency. Inside this past 3 years, you can tell we your toughest decision where you really don't take as president na Salone.
Well, I'm not going to able to cite a particular one, but on daily basis, we get very difficult decisions for take. We did at the State House, and the decisions that we take, like how they, if just like actions they for move the nation forward, you get for be very circumspect. You get for look at all the angles because you go to look at efficiency, effectiveness. While some people they look at region, religion, nepotism, all the other things.
So how they manage your expectations then?
Well, your own conscience is what you finally fall to. Then put me here for govern this nation as best as I can. If you know my sister from the same army, if you go do that work the better, I go give you. Because I know say me conscience go sleep say you qualify and not for discriminate against you because you belong, you know, a part of me.
60 years, we're not far from Salone being 60 years. You 3 years into administration. Waiting at your word social units.
Well, of course, we don't waste a lot of time, missed opportunities, a lot of potential. But in the short 3 years, one of the years then taken away by COVID, in which the whole world, and I want to talk about COVID because today COVID they kill thousands of people in places where the health system they are one of the best around the world. We don't able navigate and we are not out of the woods, but we are safe reasonably. The way we will handle this as a nation with my leadership, it shows say whenever we want to deal with a situation and we are united as a nation, we can able to do them. That is one thing where I want to talk about. Here is a nation which used to be cited for some of the worst things there around the world. Today, it is not. Even the corruption we will not talk about. When independent people, and of all places, the great United States, we will not be the talk say and not go. Now then says you don't say you don't do so well. Your government a progressive, a liberal, and you dey make effort. We don't begin past from the day when we come from 49. Now now 80 we dey go. So independent assessment of what we dey do, they sure say that one we dey make progress. And because that institution we then call MCC now then grade way and decide say because we don't show progress, because we don't show good intention for invest in people, we dey give now nothing less than maybe 400 million for free. Nobody, we no one day get that kind of money in this country. That they show say the country they change. Where we dey inside, because we dey inside the problem, we know they see them very well. But the outside observers don't know say better they happen. The one that will be the runaway they go, they don't begin for comeback. That I just want to end down on a very optimistic note. Say Salone, pauper, it go better, and we don't.
And the elections now 2023, as they left now at the studio, they promised Salone people of a free, fair, and credible elections come 2023 because we don't know if we're able to host you back.
Definitely free, fair election, credible election. Now the ideal, and now we all responsibility for make sure say that happen. And I don't always talk the last time we have been in at this studio, where they say, violence and this, that. I say, bring one young man no more where they talk, say, Maada, you don't give me money or total pack or they intend the way they drink, for go cause problem. That one day, one day happen, it not go ever happen. But it is my it is your responsibility. Why they go knock your company because na APC? Why they go knock your company because na SLPP? So I want for appeal to the whole nation, say, they say go vote, they not say go knock, go throw stone. We for go vote, waiting who that we want for the next presidency.
Right.
We get for definitely be Julius Maada.
Thank you very much. What can make you smile or laugh? Because this morning we see you, they smile a lot.
At the respond to his smiles.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so very much, His Excellency. This is a big opportunity where you give Radio Democracy for Kaya this morning. From 30 minutes, where you protocol every tell we to 1 hour, and we're really grateful to the team. We don't rush. Thank you very much, and we want to say we appreciate you, Kawan, at the program.